Welcome back to the Deep Dive. If your appreciation for sharp dialogue, tactical corporate warfare, and perfectly calibrated underreactions runs deep, then you probably know today's subject. She is like the embodiment of calculated power, the calm eye in the hurricane that was the Waystar Royco legal department.
Definitely.
We are, of course, taking a comprehensive look at the extensive, decade-spanning career of J. Smith Cameron. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much the whole world now knows her as Gerri Kellman from the HBO series Succession, right?
Iconic.
A role that brought her two well-deserved Primetime Emmy Award nominations for Outstanding Supporting Actress. But her story is so much bigger than the corporate intrigue of the Roy family.
Oh, absolutely.
The truth is, that global recognition came, like, decades into a career built on a totally different stage.
That duality is precisely why her career profile offers such a fascinating study. J. Smith Cameron is an American actress whose professional timeline begins way back in 1979.
79, wow.
Yeah. And crucially, the vast majority of those decades were spent not in front of a camera, but dedicated to the intense demands of live theater.
Right.
She wasn't someone, chasing the next screen role. She was, for all intents and purposes, a theater titan.
A theater titan, I like that.
Who made a very strategic and purposeful pivot to screen acting much later in life.
And that contrast is what we synthesize from the sources you provided, the retrospective career profiles, the archival theater reviews, the recent Emmy analysis. Our mission today is really to trace that incredible arc. We're diving into her roots in Kentucky, uncovering the surprisingly administrative backstory of her unique professional name.
Yeah, that story's great.
Immersing ourselves in her highly decorated stage career, where she truly mastered her craft, and finally analyzing the transition that landed her squarely in the current landscape of prestige television.
It's a blueprint, really, for professional longevity and adaptability. It shows how the rigor demanded by the stage provided the foundational strength necessary for that quiet, devastating power she displays on screen.
Okay, so let's begin with her origins.
Yeah.
Ground the story in Louisville, Kentucky, where she was born. Her father, Richard Sharp Smith, was a practicing architect. Now, this detail might seem a bit tangential, but it hints at a legacy of building and structure, doesn't it?
Indeed. And we note a kind of professional lineage there. Her father was Richard Sharp Smith II.
Okay.
And his father was Richard Sharp Smith I, both architects.
Okay.
So there was this deep, multi-generational tradition within the family of design, structural integrity, building things that last.
Right.
Which, ironically, she would later trade for the transient, spontaneous art of live performance.
Interesting contrast. So when she launched her own career path, she enrolled in the School of Theater at Florida State University, FSU. Though the sources say she only attended for 1 year.
Just 1 year.
But this initial exposure, however brief, proved incredibly important, right? It set the stage immediately for her eventual screen work, even while her focus was clearly on theatrical training.
That timing was just pivotal. While she was at FSU, she connected with film director Victor Nunez, who was preparing a project.
Okay.
Nunez recognized her talent right away and cast her as a lead in his film Gal Young-un.
Gal Young-un. 1979.
1979, exactly. So to jump straight from basically 1 year of university to a lead role in an independent film, that's an extraordinary start.
Yeah, it really is.
Signals immediate natural capability,
But then instead of capitalizing on that initial screen success, like maybe rushing off to LA or something,
right? Which many would do.
She demonstrates this real commitment to foundational training. She moved to New York City and immersed herself in formal acting studies at HB Studio.
And this choice, I think, underlines a crucial aspect of her artistic identity. She values craft deeply. Instead of relying solely on innate talent or that early success, she committed to the disciplined environment of New York theater training.
And that became the bedrock.
Became the bedrock of her professional reputation for the next, 3 decades?
And speaking of professional identity, we absolutely have to address the name, J. Smith Cameron. It's so distinct, recognizable. It has that immediate air of professional establishment. Yet, the story behind how it was formed is, kind of accidental, rooted in bureaucracy.
It's a wonderful story. It really is. It's all about administrative necessity creating a brand. She was originally born Jeannie Smith.
Jeannie.
The first evolutionary step was entirely self-initiated back when she was in college. She felt that the name Jeannie was maybe too girlish or perhaps too diminutive for the serious career she envisioned.
Right. Wanted something a bit more solid.
Exactly. So she began using the more professional, streamlined J. Smith.
Okay, so that part was her choice. But the final, highly recognizable piece that hyphenated Cameron, that wasn't about artistic choice or family lineage initially.
Not initially, no. It was basically a condition of employment.
Get it out here.
Seriously. This is a fascinating little insight into the inner workings of the acting world, specifically the unions. When she moved to register with the Actors Equity Association, AEA.
That's the Stage Actors Union.
Right, represents stage actors and stage managers. They informed her that she could not use J. Smith.
Why not?
Because of union rules. They're designed to prevent identity confusion, in cast lists, credits, payroll, all that stuff.
Makes sense.
There was already an established actor operating under the professional name J. Smith.
So, tough luck.
Pretty much. Therefore, if she wanted to work on a union stage, she had to differentiate herself immediately. She needed a different name.
So she needed an addition, like an appendage. And she wisely chose Cameron, which was a family name.
It was a family name, yes. But the addition itself was forced by the rule.
So what's truly remarkable then is that a simple administrative rule, the need for a stage union to distinguish between two actors, is what dictated the formation of one of the most distinguished, sort of iconic, hyphenated names in contemporary acting.
Exactly. It wasn't marketing, it was mandatory differentiation. Bureaucracy accidentally creating this incredibly memorable professional identity.
Wow. It's a foundational detail, like you said, that defines her professional brand, stemming from just wanting to work professionally within the union structure.
Precisely.
Okay, so as we transition into the core of her career, it's really imperative to reiterate what you said earlier. She is first and foremost a creature of the theater.
Absolutely. Can't stress that enough.
The years between, say, 1980 and maybe 2010 were almost exclusively dedicated to stage work, forging this reputation as an actor capable of rigorous, sustained, and deeply nuanced performance.
We truly cannot overstate this. Her decades on the stage required a completely different set of skills than, what's needed for a television role today.
Right. Different muscle.
Totally different muscles. Stage acting demands projection, vocal, emotional, the ability to maintain peak energy and characterization for 2, sometimes 3 hours straight.
8 shows a week.
8 shows a week. That training, that discipline, it explains the incredible stamina and depth we see in her later screen roles. It didn't come from nowhere.
She made her Broadway debut relatively quickly, actually, August 1982. She stepped into the role of Babe Buttrell, replacing Mia Dillon in Beth Henley's Pulitzer Prize-winning play Crimes of the Heart.
Which was a huge hit.
Huge. So starting your career on Broadway as a replacement in an already iconic role, that demonstrates immediate professional trust, doesn't it? An ability to assimilate quickly into a high-pressure environment.
Absolutely. And the recognition from the stage community itself was swift and decisive. She earned her first Tony Award nomination pretty early on.
When was that?
1991. For Best Featured Actress in a play for the production of the Timberlake-Vertenbaker play Our Country's Good.
Our Country's Good. That's a play about convicts in 18th century Australia putting on a play, right?
Exactly. It's a meta-theatrical piece, demands immense emotional range, historical sensitivity. It's complex stuff.
So that early Tony nomination established her not just as like a reliable actor, but as one capable of handling really complex, intellectually demanding material.
For sure. And even before that Tony nod, in 1989, she was part of the original cast of the hit comedy Lend Me a Tenor.
Oh, classic farce.
Classic. And that show's ensemble performance was so lauded that the entire cast won an Outer Critics Circle Award, a special recognition awarded by writers and reviewers for notable New York theater achievements.
So again, recognized early for both individual excellence and collaborative skill, being part of a great ensemble.
That's key. And while Broadway brings the highest profile, you could argue the engine room of her serious reputation was found off-Broadway.
Right. That's where she collected the specialized, often more artistically adventurous awards. Maybe we should give a little context for the listener about what these specialized awards signify.
Yeah, good idea. When we talk about her triumphs off-Broadway, we're talking about her winning an Obie Award for the 1997 production of As Bees in Honey Drown.
Obie, okay.
The Obie Awards are essentially the definitive recognition for off-Broadway and off-Broadway excellence. They honor work that is often cutting-edge, experimental, performance-driven.
So winning an Obie signals that she was right there defining the artistic edges of the New York theater scene.
Exactly. And for that same performance in Us Bees in The Honey Drown, she was also nominated for a Drama Desk Award and another Outer Critics Circle Award.
Wow, the trifecta.
Pretty much. The Drama Desk Awards recognize excellence across all New York theater, Broadway, off-Broadway, off-Broadway. So that hat trick of nominations for one role shows this rare consensus among critics. They all recognize the mastery she had on display.
And her sustained excellence off-Broadway is shown by multiple Drama Desk nominations over the years, right? It confirms she consistently delivered career-defining work.
Absolutely. She was nominated for The Naked Truth in 1995 and again for Sarah in 2004. These weren't just fleeting successes. This was consistent high-level performance year after year.
And then, in 2012, she demonstrated her prowess in ensemble performance again, won both a Drama Desk Award and another Obie Award for Distinguished Performance by an ensemble for the highly acclaimed play Sweet and Sad.
That ability to excel both as a lead star and as a crucial integrated member of a complex ensemble, that's foundational to her success on ensemble-driven television like Succession. You see the connection.
You really do. Okay, so if we were to pinpoint maybe the single defining stage role that connects most directly to her later screen persona, her Gerri persona,
Yeah.
you'd have to deep dive into her performance as Juno Boyle in Sean Casey's classic, Juno and the Paycock.
Oh, absolutely. The 2013-2014 production at the Irish Repertory Theater, that was something special.
She earned yet another Drama Desk Award nomination for Outstanding Actress in a play for this role. But the critical context here is key, isn't it? This Irish Rep production, and her work specifically, generated immense praise.
It really did. Charles Isherwood of the New York Times, he was effusive, called it one of the finest performances of her distinguished career on the New York stage.
High praise from Isherwood.
Very high. Now here's the analytical bridge to her screen work. Isherwood specifically praised how she imbued the character of Juno Boyle with a steely pragmatism.
Steely pragmatism.
Coupled with an emotional pliancy.
That specific description, steely pragmatism, I mean, that captures the essence of Gerri Kellman perfectly, doesn't it?
It really does. It suggests that underlying strength and logic that prevents the character from being swept away by emotional chaos, while still allowing for deep human vulnerability.
So the preparation for the corporate queen was found playing this Irish mother navigating poverty and civil strife.
Exactly. The stage demands actors find truth in heightened emotional states, but Smith-Cameron mastered finding the understated truth. You learn quickly on stage that a character who stays perfectly composed while chaos reigns around them often becomes the most compelling focal point. That's the exact technique she brought to the Waystar boardrooms.
And what's particularly noteworthy is her continued commitment to the stage, even after achieving massive global fame with Succession.
Right. She clearly views the theater as an artistic home.
Yeah. She returned for a limited engagement revival of Love Letters in 2023 opposite Victor Garber at the Irish Repertory Theater.
And demonstrating how that prestige recognition translates back to the stage, she made her West End debut in London just this year, 2024.
Doing what?
She reprised the role of Juno Boyle in a revival of Juno and the Paycock, this time opposite Mark Rylance at the Gielgud Theater.
Opposite Mark Rylance. Wow.
Yeah. That's a phenomenal full circle, isn't it? The role that critics cited as the pinnacle of her earlier career becomes the vehicle for her international stage debut right at the height of her screen success.
Incredible. Okay, so given this monumental stage career, I mean, continuous work, Tony nominations, Obies, critical acclaim, it raises the crucial question. Why the purposeful transition to prioritizing film and television roles? The sources cite a very clear, deeply relatable, and honestly kind of non-artistic reason.
Yeah, it was a family-focused decision, primarily. The demands of performing 8 shows a week, week after week, it's utterly consuming.
Grueling schedule.
In an intensive lifestyle that makes domestic stability really challenging, Smith-Cameron explicitly transitioned to the different sort of project-based schedule of film and television to focus more on her family life.
And we should definitely note her marriage here. She is married to the highly acclaimed playwright, screenwriter, and film director Kenneth Lonergan.
Yes, Kenny Lonergan.
They married in 2000, share one daughter, Nellie. Lonergan is known for these deeply intelligent, character-driven works like Manchester by the Sea and You Can Count on Me.
Both incredible films.
And films where she also appeared, which suggests their artistic sensibility and preference for complex literary roles are perfectly aligned.
Absolutely. There's clearly a shared artistic language there. But the logistical shift from stage to screen was still significant.
How so?
Well, stage acting requires those grand gestures, sustained energy, vocal projection to reach the back row. Screen acting, particularly in prestige drama, demands internalization, stillness, micro-expression.
Right, the camera catches everything.
Exactly. Often conveying more in a quiet reaction than a shouted monologue. The bridge between those two disciplines, it wasn't immediate. It took a specific kind of project.
And that bridge, that crucial gateway role that maybe trained her for the sustained character depth required on television, that was Janet Talbot in the Sundance TV series Rectify.
Rectify, yes. Hugely important in analyzing her transition. It ran from 2013 to 2016. It was a quiet, critically adored, intensely character-focused show. She played the mother of a man released from death row after nearly 20 years.
Heavy stuff.
Very. She appeared in 30 episodes over 4 seasons. This wasn't just an episodic guest spot. This was a significant commitment to a serialized character arc.
So those 4 seasons of Rectify gave her the opportunity to truly immerse herself in the sustained emotional life of a character over years.
Exactly. A completely different rhythm than the limited run of a stage play, even a highly successful one.
She had to learn how to keep a character's emotional truth simmering just beneath the surface, waiting for the camera's close-up.
Precisely. And that learning curve prepared her perfectly for the project that would, well, define her global image, Succession.
Which ran from 2018 until 2023. As lawyer Gerri Kellman, the Waystar Royco general counsel and sometimes interim CEO, she was a series regular who somehow managed to maintain her professional composure amidst the utter theatrical chaos of the Roy family.
She was the eye of the storm, often.
Totally. Now, what elevates the Gerri Kellman role, beyond just a standard legal advisor, is pivotal detail we found. The character was originally conceived and written for a man.
Get out! Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's fascinating.
Isn't it? This point underscores the immense value of her performance. The creators initially envisioned like a standard male, gray-haired corporate lawyer type.
Okay.
The decision to cast an actress of Smith Cameron's depth fundamentally changed the chemistry of the entire show.
Wow. You can see how it would. By casting her, the writers opened up completely new, complex dynamics.
Exactly, like that unsettling, weirdly compelling mentor-mentee relationship with Roman Roy.
Right, that whole thing.
The navigation of corporate patriarchy, the balance of almost maternal warmth with absolute corporate ruthlessness.
She was able to integrate that steely pragmatism we talked about, honed-in roles like Juno Boyle, into the modern corporate landscape. It's brilliant casting.
This creative decision was a massive gamble that just paid off exponentially. The subtlety of her performance, the tactical smirk, the perfectly timed eye roll, became the stuff of global television memes.
Oh, totally. Her theater discipline allowed her to take a role intended as maybe a one-dimensional legal functionary and give it, 3 decades of hidden history and motivation. You felt she'd seen it all.
And the accolades that followed were just undeniable proof of this success. 2 consecutive Primetime Emmy Award nominations for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series, 2022 and 2023.
Right. She was also recognized with a Golden Globe nomination, and her collaborative excellence was celebrated with the cast, securing 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards for Outstanding Ensemble in a Drama Series in 2022 and 2024.
So this late career explosion, it's not luck, is it?
Not at all. It's the inevitable result of 40 years of rigorously refining one's instrument, finally finding the absolute perfect vehicle for it.
Okay, so while Succession and her theater work obviously dominate the narrative, looking at her full filmography and her earlier television appearances demonstrates this incredible breadth and a willingness to commit deeply to projects across the spectrum.
Yeah, from really small independent cinema to long-running procedural dramas. She's done it all.
Her film career shows a really strong connection to the independent cinema world, doesn't it?
It does. A clear marker of this recognition is her Independent Spirit Award nomination for Best Supporting Female for the 2018 film Nancy.
The Spirit Award.
Yeah, those are peer-recognized and demonstrate profound respect within the independent film community for her dramatic capabilities. It's a big deal in that world.
Her film credits span decades in genres, too. We see her appear in films that are just part of the larger cinematic lexicon. 84 Charing Cross Road, way back in 1987, alongside Anthony Hopkins.
Classic.
The Woody Allen comedy Mighty Aphrodite in 95, the remake of Sabrina that same year, playing Carol. She was also in the ensemble comedy In and Out in 97, and notably in You Can Count on Me in 2000.
Her husband's film.
Right. Written and directed by Kenneth Lonergan, which garnered several Academy Award nominations.
And her long-standing artistic partnership with Lonergan is further evidenced by her role in his sprawling 2011 drama, Margaret.
Oh, Margaret. That film had a journey.
It did, known for its intense complexity and deep character work. She also took on a significant supporting role in the intense biopic Christine in 2016, playing Peg Chubbuck.
So these are all films that prize literary depth and nuanced character over, spectacle.
Definitely her wheelhouse.
But if we want to talk about true versatility the necessity of the working New York actor, we absolutely have to examine her appearances in the world of serialized crime dramas.
Yes.
Specifically, the Law and Order universe.
This is perhaps the most fun and illustrative detail for the listener. Get this. She portrayed 7 different characters.
7.
Across the 3 primary shows of the Law and Order franchise, the original Law and Order, Criminal Intent, and Law and Order, Special Victims Unit.
7 different people. That's an administrative feat in itself, isn't it? And a showcase of a utility actor's necessary range.
Totally.
Think about what that entails.
Yeah.
Mastering the language of the courtroom one day, the trauma of a victim's mother the next, the bureaucratic apathy of some witness the third.
It speaks volumes about the New York acting scene back then. She was consistently viewed by casting directors, specifically in that Dick Wolf universe, as this reliable, versatile performer who could bring gravitas and authenticity to pretty much any role required, no matter how brief or complex.
Okay, let's run through a few just to illustrate the range. Original Law and Order,
Yeah.
Ms. Moskowitz in 92.
Okay.
Then returned 6 years later as Paula Downing, a different lawyer. Then later Drosy and Attorney Ward in subsequent seasons.
Wow. Keeping track.
In L&O, Criminal Intent, she played Trudy Pomeranski in 2001 and Ms. Hill in 2007.
Different characters again.
And in L&O Special Victims Unit, she was Diane Esques in 2011. She basically inhabited every corner of the New York legal and police ecosystem depicted on TV.
That kind of robust, consistent television work probably provided the financial and professional stability often necessary to sustain a primary focus on the stage for so long.
Good point, yeah. And beyond the procedurals, her television range is substantial. She had that recurring role in True Blood for 9 episodes as Melinda Mickens.
Right, playing Sam Merlett's mother.
Appeared in Divorce as Elaine Campbell and played Mary Ferguson across 7 episodes of the dark comedy Search Party.
Which was a great role for her, too.
She continues to be a fixture in high-quality television. We saw her as Barbara Hillert in Flashman is in Trouble in 2022. Lois Roden in Waco, The Aftermath in 2023. And most recently, she even delivered this sharp, memorable 2-episode guest run as Kathy Vance in the comedy series Hacks.
Yeah, opposite Jean Smart. That was fun. Her recent choices show this continued preference for high literary, prestige television projects.
That's not it.
And looking ahead, she has already confirmed her upcoming role as Marion Proctor in the untitled Murdaugh murder series for Hulu, slated for 2025.
The Murdaugh story.
Yeah. So she's clearly someone who values deep character work, regardless of whether the material is fictional corporate drama or ripped from the headlines legal tragedy. She goes for the substance.
It's incredible, really, to synthesize this career. We have this image, maybe fixed now, of the unflappable corporate lawyer, Gerri Kellman.
The icon.
But the reality is that the foundation for that performance, the stillness, the perfect timing, the ability to convey volumes with just a single expression, was built over 40 years of live theater.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, J. Smith Cameron is just the epitome of craft payoff. Her adaptability, her sustained success, it's all rooted in the rigor required by the stage.
Right.
The need for mental and physical endurance to inhabit a classic role like Juno Boyle one year, and then transition those skills to the subtle demands of a high-stakes prestige television drama the next.
The decades spent earning Obies and Tony nominations are precisely what gave her the depth necessary to achieve this massive late-career television success. It all connects.
It absolutely connects.
Her journey from those intimate stage environments of Greenwich Village, where she mastered the art of conveying steely pragmatism and emotional pliancy, to the opulent boardrooms of Waystar Royco, is a truly rewarding artistic trajectory to trace. It makes you appreciate Gerri even more.
Totally.
So, what does this all mean for you, the learner? It means, I think, that the seemingly overnight success you sometimes see on screen is almost always the result of decades of disciplined foundational work done elsewhere, often out of the spotlight. The lawyer we love to watch got her start making people think, laugh, and cry in dimly lit theaters, far from the global spotlight.
And finally, maybe a thought for you to carry forward as you reflect on her impressive legacy. Consider again that creation story of her professional name, J. Smith Cameron.
Right, the union role.
The name is now synonymous with professional polish, artistic distinction. Yet that professional distinction only came to exist because the Actors' Equity Association had this bureaucratic rule that prohibited two actors from sharing the name J. Smith.
Just a rule. An administrative hurdle. A small piece of union procedure forced her to add that family name Cameron.
Exactly. That small mandate, intended only to prevent confusion on a call sheet or something, resulted in a lasting, recognizable, and deeply distinctive professional brand.
So the question is, how often, maybe in our own professional lives, does a seemingly inconvenient administrative constraint or some bureaucratic roadblock unintentionally force a choice?
Right.
That creates an accidental distinction, one that ultimately defines our unique identity.
Yeah.
It's a testament maybe to the power of adaptation in the face of necessity, finding opportunity in constraint.
Well put. Something to think about.